Recording. Hi YouTube, this is the opening cinematic. So many birch trees. It's really neat. What? There's no one there. Again? What's going on? So good. Look at his expressions. Wow, it's very dramatic. Very, very dramatic. Also, the choice of music is it's interesting, I must say. I mean, it's a nice song, but it's interesting for the setting and for the cinematic. It's an interesting choice, yeah, for sure. Okay, now he's in a church. They're speaking German. So he's laughing sinisterly at himself. Let's say, oh yeah, that could be interpreted as a Gabriel Knight 2 reference too. Because he's torn between two worlds. Gabriel Knight was. That hints that Markus Ritter is also torn between two worlds. That maybe he's fighting evil or whatever. I don't know. I don't know anything about the plot, so I assume he's fighting evil. Yeah, he looks like he's fighting evil.
Damn nightmares.
Oh no. Poor Markus. Oh yeah, this is very 90s FMV. Very, very much so. Oh yeah, oh. The low-res picture. It's just a flat photograph. The flat lighting. Oh yeah. So we have hints on what happens when I press spacebar. Okay, when I press spacebar I can see what I can interact with. So am I going to delve down into these simulators? Not on a regular basis, I don't think, but they are pretty great for chill, relaxing streams, like when you don't really want to be engaged with the game 100% but concentrate more on chat. Then it's pretty good. So I might come back to Power Wash Simulator, try a few others, whatever is on Game Pass. Yeah, but now we have Markus Ritter, the Lost Family. So let's check our phone. Oh no, the nightstand. Okay, we can examine the drawer.
You don't want to know what's in there.
Oh Markus, what are you implying there? You cheeky guy. Are you a naughty boy? Is Markus a naughty boy?
There is enough light.
Yeah, I agree. So there's only the lamp and the drawer, and we have the phone. So I'm using this, the system that shows you where you can click, because in the old games, sometimes you had to click every little pixel on the screen to find out what you can click and what you can't. It just saves you copious amounts of lost gameplay, basically. Hints. Hold space to see interaction points. We did that. Use right mouse click to open mobile phone. Enable clues for item placement. Okay.
I'm not done here yet.
Okay, that's our camera. Okay, we can take photographs.
I'm not tired yet.
He's not tired yet. Okay. I love his accent.
I'm
That's
not
great.
tired yet. I need a coffee.
I need a coffee. Great. I need a coffee. I love it.
The living room. I only go in there if I have guests. Otherwise, I prefer to stay closer to the fridge and my bed.
Salad. Why is it all in English? Cookies, spaghetti, oil. Well, this is Italian too, so we'll give this a pass. But cookies, oil, salt, salad, that's all in English. That's his coffee machine. I remember that from the stream I watched. Ah, Topfuntersetzer made of cork.
I've always been an expert at horticulture, obviously.
Yes, obviously.
Most important gadget in this house. Without it, I would starve.
I thought this was the most important gadget.
Tea. For guests. Not for me, though. I need my coffee every single day.
Well, you can have both, Markus.
Empty. Like my fridge.
Maybe we should go shopping.
Empty. Like my fridge.
Oh, that's not allowed. You need to have spaghetti in your house.
Empty. Like my fridge. Got this from a friend. Theoretically for potatoes. But it also looks nice.
Does it? Looks like something for military equipment or something? Like a transport box?
Those are actually gifts from a friend in Germany. They are sharp and actually cut stuff.
Ah, probably it's filling.
More decoration. It's as high as the shelf, so I couldn't get a knife out of it, even if I wanted to.
Oh, he's right. But on the lower part? Maybe if we pulled them up. Yeah, this is situated in Vienna. We should just make coffee, I guess.
I forgot there's no coffee left. I hope the new order is in the mail already.
Oh, the camera shook.
I need a coffee.
The camera... Like, I've noticed that there are so many little movie-making errors when watching Blobber's stream. It's so cute. Like, you really can tell they had basically no budget. It's Kickstarter funded, so yeah. And they just had... Maybe they made this with an iPhone, I don't know. But the production value is so charming. Like, it's so low production value, you can really see that. Welcome to our Guzal Village Kupo. Is that a Pokemon reference? I don't know. That goes right over my... No, that's a Chocobo from Final Fantasy. And that's... Oh, no, it's Final Fantasy. This is a... What are they called? I think in the German version they were called Pogos or something. This is the Chocobo and this is some cactus enemy thing.
The keys for my home.
And maybe we want to put them in our pocket so we can leave the apartment soon.
It's all sunshine and not a cloud to be seen.
Did he say sunshine?
It's all sunshine.
No,
and
sunshine.
not a cloud to be seen.
Okay.
I always put down my mail there. As soon as I get money, I will pick one lucky winner who will receive the money I own.
Okay.
Poor one. It's a fighter, even without any water.
I know that too.
Well, a fruit basket. It would be even better if it contained any fruit. I can remember cooking a ready-made soup on there once. So, guess it should work?
Oh, Markus. So he's
This
not...
should contain the fuses, but I've never even opened it.
He's not living the most healthy lifestyle. Okay.
Brand new. On the inside and on the outside. Hardly ever used.
Oh, but it looks pretty nice. I like the color. Looks very retro. It's a nice fridge.
Just like my mobile, my camera is always with me.
Coffee! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. All right, Markus. Can we take a photograph of anything here? What's in this room? Oh, that's the bathroom. Of course it is. I thought maybe they would make a cheap Phantasmagoria 1 reference. No, they didn't go there. Oh, it's his boss.
Markus, darling, how are you?
Could be better. I'm out of coffee capsules again.
I was
How are
using
you?
capsules.
Markus, today is the 24th of September and you haven't sent me the pictures. The deadline ended last Tuesday. Just what do you think I should tell Herman? What should I say when he asks why he has no pictures to enter between his nonsensical giant margins?
I thought I...
No, don't give me that. I thought I wanted blah blah blah. Hand over the pictures. Today at 12:30 in my office. Do you understand? No, let's make it 2 p.m. after lunch break. You know, we have this just wonderful new coffee maker, and if you manage to bring me the pics in time, I might let you have some capsules as an advanced payment.
Okay. I will see that I make it until 3 p.m.
Markus, if the pictures are not placed next to my coffee cup at 2 p.m., in the future you will have to beg for your coffee capsules in front of my office on the streets.
This dialogue is so 90s adventure game, it's great. Like, this could be straight of a Sierra Online game. It's really good. So thus far I haven't seen much of the game, like nothing at all, basically. Like, a lovely lady, no she doesn't. But I think when you meet her in the office later, she's actually pretty lovely. Like, they are very nice in the office, I think.
This thing seems to be a decoration. Just so that the corner isn't empty.
You could put a chest there to store stuff in it. That's what I would do, I guess. With a name like Ritter, I would keep my Ritter equipment in here. Did we
I always put down my...
Oh yeah, no. We had that already. Let's get out of the screen. Can we put on our
one pair
shoes?
for every situation. And not one extra.
Also, I thought the pictures we saw just now of him and his boss,
This should contain
his
the
picture looked
fuses,
very great. Like,
but I've never even opened it.
they had those taken in a studio. Maybe it was a promo picture the actor sent to the producers of the game or something, and hers was just a flat shot from a day when they had when they shot, from a shooting day. That took me a little bit out of it because it was so different in style. So this is Froschspüli. You use it to wash your dishes, and we have exactly the same bottle at home. Like, we always use this because it's it contains less phosphorus, so it's not as bad for the environment. And yeah, it's very likable. Markus, that you use this too, but that you use a capsule machine. You could do better, but okay. Live and let live, right? I surely don't do everything I could to preserve our beautiful planet. So let's not nag on Markus here for using a capsule machine. Oh yeah, that's very Gabriel Knight too. They fixing the collar when I just noticed my shirt is not buttoned. Okay. Now we are out of the apartment. Oh yeah, he knows his fashion, like he's got style. Markus got style. Yeah, this really is Gabriel Knight 2 for Gen Z. It's great. You also use a capsule machine. Well, we did too for a pretty long time. I think we had a Senseo, and then later on we switched to we had a Senseo where you put in these pads, not capsules, but later on we had a capsule machine. And yeah, those are pretty comfy to use because you don't really have to do much. You just put the capsule in, push a button, and your coffee's ready. And you can just dispose of the capsule. And then we had another pad machine, I think. And now we just have a regular filter machine. And it gets the job done as well. But if you knew how much plastic we throw away every week, oh my goodness. Like, I tell you, a capsule coffee machine would make no difference in this household. So I'm not
mail.
I'm not the one
It's
to talk
usually
here.
only bills though, so not that exciting anymore.
Look at the cup. It's so tiny. What did he say?
Thank God the coffee.
Thank God.
The bills.
He was ailing already. It's right here. I have this one filled with water. Oh, she's heavy. And this one's filled with tea. I didn't want to fill the big one with tea because it takes forever to cool down, and I wanted to drink my tea earlier.
I've already checked the mail.
He's already checked the mail, okay. So let's go back inside and make coffee. I guess our boss will give us grief because we don't go to her place with the pictures. Oh, Earl von Wammer. Sorry. Wammer. Did you look in the cellar? I hear something about Austrians and base. Oh, look in the cellar. Look in the cellar. No, we have not been to the cellar
mail
yet.
There.
I
As soon
assume.
as I get money, I will pick one lucky winner who will receive.
Yeah, I know that already. Oh, my DPI went up. No, it's back down. Okay. Or maybe this is an apartment. I think it's a rented apartment because it's only 2 rooms. It's just the sleeping room, the bedroom, the living room, and kitchen area. This is the bathroom, and then you go out. So, for the lost family. Either that or he lost them in the woods. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know much about the game because I have seen Blobbers stream I have seen a very little bit of Blobbers stream, but not a whole lot. Let's put the mail here. Check it. Die Botin.
To Markus Ritter. Those tricksters are really lazy. They can't even get the right name.
Die Botin or Die Botin. Let's see. Wieder Frauenmord in Wien. Okay, I have to get up close to read this because the resolution is rather small. Can I zoom in? No. Oh, there's a QR code. Okay. Wieder Frauenmord in Wien. Wien. Ein Frauenmord erschütterte am Mittwochabend die Gegend um die Ruprechtskirche im 1. Wiener Gemeindebezirk. Ein 64-jähriger gebürtiger Niederösterreicher soll mutmaßlich seine 72-jährige Frau getötet haben. Laut derzeitigem Ermittlungsstand geht die Polizei von einem Mord aus, bestätigt Polizeisprecher Grünschnabel. Gegen 21:43 Uhr hörten Anrainer Schreie, das Viertel ist um die Uhrzeit für gewöhnlich gut besucht. Sorry. The letters are really very small. Sorry. Gewöhnlich gut besucht. Mehrere Touristenlokale befinden sich vor Ort. So, there has been a murder. A 64-year-old allegedly killed his 72-year-old wife. The locals heard screams. And that's it thus far. Mit einem Messer in der Hand. No. Zuerst dachten wir, da ist ein Filmdreh. No, wait, where was I? Yeah, there. Wir hatten gerade bestellt, als wir aus dem Wohnhaus nebenan Schreie hörten, berichtet ein Augenzeuge der Botin. Zuerst dachten wir, da ist ein Filmdreh. Ein paar Minuten später riss ein Mann die Tür auf und taumelte auf die Straße. Mit einem Messer in der Hand. Wait, maybe I can change the resolution. Maybe I can lower it a bit. Language, volume... No. Maybe it scales to my native resolution. Yeah. This is a pain to read.
Wien. A femicide took place on Wednesday evening in the area of the Rupertskirche, 1st district of Vienna. A 64-year-old man from Niederösterreich allegedly killed his 72-year-old wife. According to the state of investigation, the police is talking about a murder, confirms Police Inspector Grünschnabel. Neighbors heard screams around 10 o'clock. The district has a high population around this time because of the tourist bars and restaurants. We just made our order when we heard a woman screaming from the house over there.
They kept that in.
Tells us a
It's
witness.
charming.
First, we thought they are making a movie somewhere, but a few minutes later, a man opened the door, stepped on the street with a bloody knife in his hand. He was covered in blood. A few steps later, he broke down. The ambulance could just declare the death. The dead bodies were taken to the forensics. This is the second femicide in just a couple of months. The first one took place in July, when a 17-year-old girl got stabbed by a colleague. Police says it was a relationship act. In both cases, the murderer used stabbing weapons. In both cases, the murderer died minutes or just hours later.
Is it a curse? Oh, Witze. Let's read Witze. It's so difficult to see. Let me move my mic a bit so I'm not that close to it. Witze. Mosche, ein braver, gottesfürchtiger Mann, steht in seinem Garten und sieht in den Himmel. Er greift in seine Tasche, schmeißt eine Handvoll Münzen in die Luft und ruft: Her, mach, dass ich gewinne die Lotterie! Am nächsten Tag geht er wieder in den Garten, wirft die Münzen und ruft: Her, mach, dass ich gewinne die Lotterie! Für 2 Wochen geht er jeden Tag in seinen Garten und am 15. Tag tut sich tatsächlich der Himmel auf und eine mächtige Stimme erschallt. Mosche, gib mir a chance, kauf dir ein Los, spricht der Rabbi. Moshe is very stupid. Like he threw coins in the air and said, God, please make me win the lottery. And he did that for 2 weeks every day. And after 2 weeks, apparently God was fed up. And he clouds opened up and God told to Moshe, dude, if you want to win, you gotta buy a ticket. You gotta buy a lottery ticket, man. Stupid Moshe. Very, very stupid. What an idiot. Okay. Mode. It's fashion. Mode is fashion. Einfarbige Kombinationen feiern comeback. Yeah, you can see that looking at Markus. Die Botin. Alright. Very good. Okay, so let's open the package.
Finally coffee again. Now the day can start.
Oh yeah. So I assume he's got it in his inventory? Coffee. Let's head to the coffee machine. There we go.
Thank God there's express delivery. I don't work without caffeine. Today I have to make the pictures of the 3 locations for my new photo book. Schmidt will kill me otherwise. Though she's more like a mother than a publisher. Nonetheless, I don't want to put her patience to the test.
Oh yeah, he loves his coffee. Really enjoying that. He doesn't have Küchenrolle. Let's see if we can find continuity errors. No continuity error. I thought maybe there would be a kitchen paper roll on here. A Küchenrolle. But no, it's always empty. High production value. It's a good game. Okay, so we had coffee.
The living room. I only go in.
Oh, this is the living room. Okay, this is the exit. So we have 3 rooms. We have bedroom, living room, and kitchen, and kitchen and dining room and living room. Okay. Okay. So now, do we have the pictures our boss wants? Or do we have to make them? So this is Wien. I assume this is where we are. No, this is where we are. Coffee is home. Then we have this castle here, some ruins, and a chapel. Okay. Okay, let's head to Wien. Vienna. Well, I gotta look up the actor on IMDb later on, see if he's had any other roles. Bitte kein Reklamematerial. Oh, I thought that was a typo. Like usually it says, Bitte keine Werbung, please no commercials. But that says Reklame. Reklame is barely used in Germany anymore. Maybe it's common in Austria. I don't know. I think I've never been to. Yeah. I traveled through Austria as a kid once, but I've never been to Austria properly, so I wouldn't know. Glocke. Oh, that's so neat. It's not called Klingel in Austria, it's called Glocke. That's so cute. I love that. Verlag Flimmer.
Not the best publisher, but maybe that's why they publish my books.
I think Flimmer is also the name of the devs company. Like the studio that made this game is called Flimmer as well.
No advertisements.
Advertisement.
If I put that
Great.
sticker on my mailbox, I would only receive bills.
Advertisements. That's cute. Glocke. What's this then?
This is the old bell. Frau Schmidt never repaired it.
Ah, okay. So now this is the Glocke.
I would love to spend more time with Claudia, but maybe without Frau Schmidt.
How do we use it? Ah, okay, he wants Frau Schmidt to be gone. Okay. So when Frau Schmidt is not here anymore, we can go. Ah, alright. We have to take 3 pictures of a rune, 3 pictures of a castle, and 3 pictures of a church. Okay, okay, okay. So that's what we gotta do first. Wonderful. So, let's do it in the... Oh my goodness. In the order the game suggested. Castle. Let's move here.
Great if you want to have a picnic, but it ruins the mood a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't really fit into the color scheme. That's true. It's way too bright and too new, and I don't really like the concrete sockets. Yeah, if you took this out of the picture, this would look very neat, and this also. Like the black and green, grey. It all fits very well together. Michael Kotzmann. Oh yeah, could be. I think I saw the credits on Blobber's stream. I don't remember. Or I looked it up already, maybe. That could also be that I looked it up during Blobber's stream. Because for some weird reason I always want to know who the actors in movies and games are that I consume and what else they have been working on. Stuff like that. I don't know, I'm just curious. I'm just a curious guy. I like to know stuff about people, like... I will not look up personal information.
Good that the town
It's not my
installed all
business,
those
but
trash cans.
I'm interested in the work.
The park is really clean.
If I have watched Baron play the second one. Definitely, and it was so much fun because I love the second Gabriel Knight. The Beast Within. That's why I picked up this game as well, because it's obviously an homage to Gabriel Knight 2. I mean, the name of the protagonist alone, Markus Ritter. Right. Okay, so we checked the garbage. We don't want to go there yet. Let's check this out.
Very good. I'm looking for a position without trees in the way.
Okay, then let's look for a position without trees in the way.
I need my camera.
Oh, we have to equip it first? Oh, ducks! So many ducks. Yeah, this could be Germany as well.
Pretty solid. Nevertheless, this place is more in the category of a ruin than an old castle.
Is it? I love how shaky the camera is. Okay, so we took these pictures. Can we take them
I
again?
already took that picture.
Okay, he's telling us. Let's examine the duckies. A swan! Yeah, but this looks very much like Northern Germany too. Like this could as well
Without
be
any trees,
Northern
they won't
Germany.
come to me.
By the looks of it, like an old castle, a moat around it, some cute little ducks. Feed the ducks. Oh, you're not supposed to do that, Markus. That's not good for the water quality. So don't feed the ducks or the swans. And also, if you feed them the wrong kind of bread, they could become sick as well. So
I wonder how long it will take until this becomes a new bridge to the castle.
Good point. Yeah, it's very slopey.
This was probably the servant's house.
Servants. The servant's house.
This was probably the servant's house.
Servants.
The park ends here. I guess the administrative buildings are back there. Well, maybe it looks more intact from another view? We could try to get in from there.
Obviously. I think we could not just try, we could actually do it. Oh, we can't. What? Well, we could. We could climb over the railing along this piece of fence and then heave ourselves over there. Pause.
Entrance just with an appointment.
Oh, so we have to go to the
Well,
administrative
this
buildings.
means I just can try to get all the angles from the outside. This used to be a beautiful place for sure. I will try the back.
Well, not so beautiful nowadays. Yeah, these look like ruins. Like, this is... That's a ruin. I really dig the mellow piano music. Very nice.
No direction sign on the crossroads of life. I think I can
True that.
already see the castle on the right side. The path seems to lead away from it. Water. Or something similar.
Well, if you didn't throw bread in it all the time, Markus, it would resemble water some more, I assume. Ah. Shaky camera again? No.
From here I can photograph another angle of the castle. What was that? I could swear... No. Stupid me.
Oh, you're not stupid, Markus. Just didn't have enough coffee. That's all. Let's go back home and drink 3 more coffees.
I am already too far away from the castle.
Can I look at the pictures we took at all? Oh, and the ones we took don't even count. They don't even count. Ah, whatever.
I think I can already see the castle on the right side. The path seems...
Yeah, makes sense. Did I walk here? No. Ah, here we go. This is a nice view, I think. With this very old tree. Like, I'm a 0 in botany, so I don't know what this tree's... Like, it looks like it's been overgrown by poison ivy. Yeah, it looks like it. Like, the tree itself might be dead, and the only thing holding it together is the poison ivy. Okay.
From here it looks even worse.
Where is...
I can hear Frau Schmidt already whining that this is not a castle but just a bunch of rocks.
There
Wait a minute. From where did she... What?
What's going
I
on?
shouldn't eat something before I go to bed.
Oh, that part I've seen on Blubber's stream.
Okay.
So that means I've seen the early parts of the game in his stream. But I didn't remember anything of it, so...
I'm not known for being paranoid. I don't understand myself anymore. Maybe I should stop reading the news. Since the murder started in Vienna, my nightmares went nuts. I hope they catch the murderer soon. I mean, the deaths, they're not even connected in any way. Shit. No, I don't want to think about such things. I just want to do my job and live in peace.
Good. Very good, Markus. It's very healthy. Don't delve into things that are not beneficial to your health. Okay. So did we cross off at least one picture? 3 pictures of the... Ah, okay. I thought it would make a little countdown for you. But no, we took 3 pictures and that's it. Okay. Now we can go to the next location. So we took pictures of the castle ruins. But the real thing didn't look anything like this. Ah. So, then let's go to actual ruins. Ruine
I
gesperrt.
wonder why this area is closed.
Oh no, Ruine gesperrt. How are we going to take pictures?
Cycling prohibited. Well, lucky me. I wouldn't have even thought of getting one of those.
Me neither. I don't like riding the bicycle. It's just not my thing. Never has been.
Thank you. Climbing is definitely not for me.
I'm a
I will
pedestrian
go the
through
other
and
way.
through. So no climbing either. It's good.
Another barrier. I should watch my step. Maybe a shortcut, but it looks cliffy. I will stay on the path.
He will get dirt on his clothes. So, no, not an option.
I believe that's the ruins.
Oh. Oh, yes. Neat. Ah, it looks a bit like the filming location of Nosferatu. Right? I wanted to make it a habit of watching that movie every Halloween, but I did that once. What would that...
Looks like I'm not the first one to try to get in.
What would that say? It looks like something an AI would create. But it's just upside down. Ah, whatever.
Maybe this used to be a kind of window. Or a space for candles? Maybe this used to be a kind of window. Or a space for candles? This tower holds my interest.
This has been broken open as well.
I'm not climbing over this. These are my good trousers. And my only trousers, actually.
That's a little bit sad and also a little bit disgusting.
How kind of the intruders to put the lock back, so it won't get lost. The idea of a fence is not working out really well here. This is a dead end. I would like to know what the architect was thinking.
Ah,
I need my camera.
you sure do. You shake your cameras back. Ah, it's a cannon. Now I see.
Whoa,
This camera is a
which
cannon.
fragile staircase should break my neck first? Looks like this is the only fence here that's still intact.
Because it's solid steel, maybe? And not just a steel net that you can easily bend.
Dead end. Dead end.
Dead end.
No. Even if I were flexible enough, there's no way I'm going in there. I guess this is the entrance of the woods. You can't see anything because of the branches.
The camera work is just phenomenal. He's looking like this. He's not moving his eyes. Like his head is just, his eyes are deadlocked when he's panning his head. It's great. Oh, Markus.
Guess what? Another dead end. But I would like to know what this room was for.
Well, it's going to be difficult to find out, I guess. I'm no archaeologist.
Why are people like that?
Let's back. Oh.
Another ruin. If Frau Schmidt chooses this topic for the next book, I will take a look at this one too.
Well, this what makes for a nice picture. Like the old Bergfried up on top of the hill. This looks great from this perspective. I would take this picture. Come on, let's try it. Come on, Markus. Oh.
Another ruin.
No, it won't happen. This looks so perfect. Come on, Markus.
What a beautiful view.
Beautiful.
Good thing I'm not afraid of heights.
Well, I am. And this looks pretty too. Lots of pretty pictures. Walk, 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 walk. Ah, we've been here, okay. Walk, walk. It's a bit difficult to navigate, really, but I know where we are. Ah! Some real stairs. I can't walk. But that's 2 out of 3 pictures taken. Great. Alright, he likes the tower, right? He said that, I think.
Damn it. A barrier? I planned to photograph the tower from the inside. But it seems the lightning nearly crashed this place. I hope Frau Schmidt is happy with the pics I am able to make from this angle.
From this angle. I wonder if they would have hired a native speaker if they had the means to. But I assume it would have been extremely expensive to get a native English-speaking actor in Austria that meets all of their standards for the role. Because I think they would have to fly in someone from the UK and cater them and give them a hotel room. And that's just not feasible with a no budget. Okay, so we didn't go up here. I wonder if this is stock music or if they had the music made for the game specifically.
I love ruins. It's quiet here and you feel free. No people. Especially no woman in a white dress appearing random behind you. But maybe it's also my subconscious. I haven't been on a date for a long time. Actually, since Michael left me. I just went out on a date with Claudia once. Maybe I should ask her out again.
So apparently he's bisexual? Okay. Because I've seen the game being tagged as LGBTQIA+, so I assumed maybe there's something like that going on with the game, but okay. Neat. Okay. I think it's great that it's openly communicated that the protagonist is bisexual. Good thing.
I should look at it from another side. A tie. What a pity that they didn't start a new game. But of course, I don't support vandalism.
Right. Now we have all the pictures of the ruins. Now we just need the church pictures. Okay, let's get out of here. Sorry?
I'm not here to explore the town. This is the parish office. They leave me alone, and I leave them alone.
Okay. You had business with them before, or what's going on there?
I don't think that this entry is for the public. Thank you, but no. My need for public places with a lot of people is not there anymore.
There are lots of people here, yeah.
I am sure they employ a gardener.
Because they had such a high budget they could afford all the extras to fill up that plaza. Sure.
I don't know what this is meant to be. Maybe a holdover from when the church was built?
Yes.
I am sure they employ a gardener.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Nice paintings. Would fit great in my house.
Really? It's a bit dark, isn't it? I don't think I would put this up on my wall.
Nice paintings. Would fit great in my house.
But okay. Tastes differ. That's okay.
A church magazine? Gossip and gossip about the Templars. I like the priest. He has humor. Thanks, but no. I really like old buildings, but I came to finish a job. And I should do that before the flock comes in here. Fancy. A better sound system than mine, that's for sure. The working space of the priest. I had to make one like this when I was in school.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Interesting choice. Actually, Jesus was a pretty good-looking guy.
Yeah, but does he really look like this? We don't know. Do we? Well, I certainly don't.
The working space.
Oh, lots of stuff to check out.
Gold-plated angels. Looks like they are protecting a treasure.
Treasure.
But I'm not on a treasure hunt.
Treasure.
This fire protection is questionable? This fire... Maybe the poor fellow in my kitchen could crow like that if I tried a little bit harder.
Yeah, she surely could crow. Okay, I think these say the same as these ones. What's this?
I don't have a key. And I don't have the time or curiosity for it.
But I do. No, we don't have a key. You're right. You're right, Marcus. We don't have a key. What a bummer. Okay. We're not done here yet. Ah! The organ. We have those two in our churches. I think I've never been inside a Catholic church in my life. No, I haven't. I've seen plenty from the outside, of course, but I've never been inside one. Because I have only visited churches in northern Germany, and I visited one in the UK. But none of those were Catholic.
I guess that's where the choir sings.
Very few Catholics in northern Germany.
Thanks. But for the long list of my sins, I would probably need an appointment.
Oh, come on, Marcus. Can't be that bad.
I don't have to get closer to the organ. The view from here is enough for me.
The view. The view what? Okay, and that's the third picture. This was the easiest one. That looks like Latin. The camera work is so weird. Why is it so... Like, why is the movement so unnatural? Like, I assume they had it on a stand. And you
I would never have thought of making my money that way. It's not much, but the job fits me. I'm not a team player, more a lonely wolf. After my parents died, I had to fight for myself. Luckily, I met Frau Schmidt early on, and she gave me a camera and an opportunity.
I mean, it's tragic, but it's good that he found someone who took him in. Yeah, the camera movement is so awkward. So I assume they have it on a stand. Not like this one. This is what I have. something more sophisticated, but it's really awkward. Okay, we're done here, right? Deliver the pictures and discuss them. Okay, we can do that. Let's go to Wien. Oh, they had extras. Well, those people don't know they are in this game. Let's ring the Glocke. Oh right, the short skirts.
Hey, Claudia.
Hey, Markus.
Is she here?
It's 2:30.
Miss Schmidt. Nice to see you.
Well then, come on. Let's see what you've got.
For you, only the most photogenic brick.
Claudia! Claudia! And put the phone down!
So great. Okay.
I guess this is another waiting room. Maybe for VIPs? I don't know. I was never asked to wait in there. The filing cabinet for Claudia. I better not open it. I expect the same tidiness as in my living room. This is abstract art, I guess.
Is it? I don't know. Books.
I don't believe those are books they publish here. Maybe they wanted some quality work as representation. Really beautiful. But shouldn't those winter roses bloom in winter? Nice view to the main street. I bet this was here even before the publisher moved in. That's where I came from. And probably where I will leave to. Who is responsible for the plants? Frau Schmidt? Or Claudia? Well, maybe the cleaner.
Maybe, yes. Could be. They are publishing
murders.
Gabriel Knight.
Since when are the publishers?
Werwölfe in München? What did they say? A gay love story?
Let's sit down.
Ah, I want to look at it again.
So, what will be our new bestseller?
We will publish an essay collection about Gothic
They
stained glass
redubbed it.
windows in our autumn program, so these pictures of Wiener Kathedralen would be a great fit, of course, but somehow I'm drawn to that castle.
Good, so we go with the cathedrals? We have more than enough of them.
No, we will take the castle. My publisher's intuition never fails me.
Shouldn't you have known then that I would never deliver the pigs until Tuesday?
Markus, get out of here.
Oh, and say goodbye to Claudia from me.
Next time, don't be late. That boy. Really though, why that castle? I don't get it myself.
I love her haircut. Helmet hair. It's back in fashion as well. Like, this game is really catering towards Gen Z. You can can really tell. Yeah, this is... I'm sure this is Gabriel Knight supposed to be for Gen Z. Let me check. Ah, nice. Okay. So where do we go now? I guess home? No. Go to sleep. But it's bright outside. And we didn't eat.
I've always been an expert at horticulture, obviously.
Huh. What happens if I switch to German? Do they speak German then? I don't think so.
Nagelneu. Außen wie auch innen. Er ist kaum benutzt.
Oh! They do. They do indeed. Ah. Okay, then let's just go to bed. The nightmares take over the life of Markus. Oh, here's... I think... Otherwise he's written with a K, I think. He can't get this mysterious woman out of his head. How does he know her? Nothing is like before. Even his boss, Frau Schmidt, is acting strange. To regain control again, Markus starts some research. Who is this woman that seems so familiar? The murders in Vienna don't stop either. The police don't seem to find the answers. Are they really just relationship dramas? But if so, why so many at the same time? September 25th, Vienna. Ooh. Eerie. Let's go. Oh no, he's gone insane. So corny, so campy, it's great. I think it's right on that line that goes between
Fucking nightmares.
intentionally bad and
What's all this about?
unintentionally bad and funny
Why do I
bad.
keep dreaming about this woman?
Like it's the funny bad line.
Why doesn't it finally stop? Now I even see her in broad daylight. Still, I feel like there is something behind it. Frau Schmidt was acting weird as well. Exactly around the picture where I thought to see that woman.
So yeah, so you can tell that with the little means they had, they really got the most out of it. And the end result is just super corny and campy and just bad, but it's so good. It's so funny. It's really great. It's
I
great
need a
product.
coffee.
I need a coffee. Oh. Okay, let's get you your coffee.
Oh man. Now the real work just starts. And I'm totally done because I was not sleeping a wink. But it's bothering that this woman is not only appearing the nightmares, but also during the day. I have to find out more about her. I could feel her presence just at the castle, I guess. And for Schmidt it also chose this location, though the churches would be so much better as a subject for the next book.
So what's the goal on the striped top? The blood.
That's good. Okay,
Maybe an axe of her?
let's start the
of his?
researches. Congratulations. You managed to arouse my curiosity.
Okay. What to do? Research. We do have a phone. We could do some research on the phone. I assume.
I'm not done here yet.
Ah, we have a laptop.
First, I want to read today's news.
You can do that on a laptop.
First, I want to read today's news.
Okay.
I won't go out in my joggers. I don't have many principles, but this is one for sure. One pair for every situation.
Matchbook. Lighter. Can't make out with the Kaiser. I've no clue. It's an antiquity. Let's leave it at that. Alright, let's examine the keys again.
The keys for my home.
No. Ah, right. In the German version, this Final Fantasy character was called Cactuar. Which is funny, because Cactuar could be something else as well.
This should contain the fuses, but I've never even opened it.
Really? What do you do if you want to install a new lamp or something?
The living room. I only go in there if I have guests. Otherwise, I prefer...
Ah, there's today's news.
tabloids and bills. Why waste my life looking at those?
So how do I get the news?
Just like my mobile, my camera is always with me.
Naturally. Let's use the bathroom first. Okay. So he wants to read the news first, right?
First, I want to read today's news.
Yes. But he won't go outside to his mailbox to pick up the newspaper. Because for some reason he doesn't read his news on the laptop. Like, I read my news on this thing. I don't even use a laptop to read news. I just use my phone. And I assume many people do. Because it's the device that I read most stuff on. Oh, now he's going out? Ah, because I used the bathroom, he changed his pants. Okay. That makes sense, yeah. Is it that cold? You need to have a jacket on to pick up your mail and your newspaper? Okay. And you have to lock the door as well because the trip is so far. The news. There we go. Now Markus should be happy. And then we can do research on our laptop.
The flowers in front of my house belong to my landlady. Luckily, they don't have to rely on me.
So yeah, he's not living alone in that house. He's living in an apartment. There are at least... Well, there are 3 partitions. Okay. Alright, let's put the newspaper on the laptop. On the table, of course. Die Botin. Dritter Frauenmord erschüttert Wien.
Wien. In the night of Sunday, a 33-year-old Viennese killed his bride. The murder weapon, a dagger, was found at the crime scene, told us Police Inspector Grünschnabel. He continued that the police was informed on Sunday morning around 2 a.m. by the neighbors, when they heard screams. Around 2:30, the police found 2 bodies in a flat in the 14th district of Vienna. The police is reporting a murder and following suicide. Grünschnabel continues it must be a relationship act. In the early morning hours, the police questioned the relatives and they told the 2 dead persons were going to get married soon. They never got into a fight. They loved each other so much, said the sister of the murderer.
Well, never getting into fights as a couple can also be a sign of not communicating. So, but I can't judge. So why the name Grünschnabel is so funny is he's a policeman, right? And Grünschnabel is basically the German word for rookie. And there's some social commentary going on here as well. So all the victims seem to be women. More and more women's murders, like only women are being murdered. And the women's shelters are full. They can't take in more women. So there's a lot of violence against women. Yes. That's some social commentary there. Witze. I will not try to read this anymore. The letters are just too small. Dark Chocolate and Cheesy Lines by Ribbit's Place. Okay.
Schloss Pottenteich. What secrets do you keep?
Auf dieser Website finden Sie eine Aufstellung österreichischer Burgen, Burgruinen, Burgstellen, Stadtbefestigungen, Kirchenburgen, Wehrkirchen, Klausen, aber auch Bauten, Schlösser, Klöster, Stifte und so weiter. Da wir sehr genau recherchieren, um die gesamte Vergangenheit dieser einzigartigen Orte zu erfassen, fügen wir sie erst nach genauer Überprüfung nach und nach hinzu. So this is an archive of castles and ruins and fortresses, pretty much castles, religious buildings like not churches, but what's it in English? Where the monks lived. Oh, I don't want to read all of this, but I guess I will miss stuff if I don't. Okay, these are the coordinates where this is at. That's the postal code and the place where it's at. There's no parking lot, apparently. They cannot tell you what the walking distance is. It's free access. You can't just go there and look at it. It's not barred up or anything. Wann genau die Riedenburg erbaut wurde, ist heute nicht bekannt. Ab dem Jahr 1144 sind jedoch Adlige, die sich nach der Burg nannten, urkundlich nachweisbar. Noch vor 1175 tritt ein Wipot von Reitenburg urkundlich in Erscheinung. 1209 wird ein Conradus de Rittenburg und 1232 ein Heinrich von Ritenburg genannt. So Ritenburg, Ritter. I assume Riet is Old German for reiten or Ritter, Reiter. Could be. I don't know. Maybe in southern Germany, Austria, maybe. So it could be a hint to the lost family. 1235 and 1245. Also 1235 und 1254. I thought I was reading in English. I'm not. Wird dann auch die gräfliche Herrschaft Reitenburg genannt, während Plesser den Bestand der Burg bis in das 13. Jahrhundert annimmt, ist sie laut anderen Berichten bis in das 15. Jahrhundert urkundlich genannt. Hier könnte es sich jedoch um Verwechslungen mit der bis in die Neuzeit genannten Pfarre Ritenburg gekommen sein. Die ehemalige Niklaskapelle wurde 1786 profaniert. I have no clue what profaniert means. Never heard that word. Profaniert. Well, I know what profan is, but profaniert? I have no clue. Maybe it was destroyed? They made it redundant by destroying it that much that you couldn't use it anymore? And now it's a ruin? Because it's a former chapel. Could be. Heute sind nur noch bescheidene Reste der Riedenburg vorhanden. Da an aufgehendem Mauerwerk so gut wie nichts mehr vorhanden ist, muss sich eine Beschreibung auf das Gelände beschränken. Der einzige Rest der Burganlage ist ein ca. 80 Meter langer Halsgraben, der den gesamten Burgbereich vom Vorgelände im Osten abschneidet. Die Burg lag wahrscheinlich am höchsten Punkt des Geländes im Nordosten. Das einzige Gebäudefragment liegt in einer Vorburg direkt darunter. Es ist ein Kellergewölbe, das wohl nicht aus der ersten Burgphase, sondern aus der Spätgotik stammt. Gegen Norden war die Vorburg durch Mauern gesichert, von denen im Abhang zur Taffa hin noch geringe Reste zu sehen. What is a Taffa? Starfreckles! Hey, welcome in! Didn't see you there. Yeah, this is I'm reading in German because this is an Austrian game. So the original is in German. We could also switch to German audio. It has both. It has English audio and German audio. But let's keep it English, shall we? So this says there is the Riedenburg, and in the 1100s it was first documented that there was a family connected to the Riedenburg. This says... Okay, so there are more Riedenburgs, but they are not sure if those are the same Riedenburgs or if it's a mix-up. And today the Riedenburg is just ruins. And a bunch of other stuff I didn't pay attention to. So in Hollerbrunn, what is in Hollerbrunn? Let's see. So I think this is a good clue because Riedenburg, it sounds like Rieden could be an old German word for Reiter. Ritter, rider. Could be. I'm not sure. I'm not a linguist. Could be. So it's could be a clue. What's in Hollerbrunn? Hardeck, Pleissing, Hardeckstadt 38. Oh, so this is where it's at. These are the geological coordinates. You can visit there from 9 to 5. In July and August from 9 to 7. Okay. Zwischen 1125 und 1150 wird Otto von Hardeck erwähnt. Damals war die Burg bereits Grenzfeste gegenüber Mähren. Mähren is today's Czech Republic, I think. Dietmar von Hardeck, ein Gefolgsmann von Künringer, scheint 1171 auf. 1187 werden die Salzburger Grafen von Plein in einer Urkunde Herzog Leopolds von als Herren und Hardegg genannt. Ach, des Fünften. In einer Urkunde Herzog Leopolds des Fünften als Herren von Hardegg genannt. So, there have been these guys called Plein and they have been the lords of Hardegg. Hardegg Pleissing. Castle Pleissing. Yes. Okay, got it. Mit den Brüdern Otto und Konrad III. Starben die Grafen Plein Hardegg 1260 aus. Ottos Witwe Wilbirges, what a beautiful name, heiratete den Burggrafen Heinrich von Devin aus Meißen. Nach seinem Tod heiratete Wilbirges ein drittes Mal, und zwar den Grafen Berthold von Rabenschwalde. Sein Großneffe Berthold von Querfurt übernahm das Erbe. Er war Burggraf der Stadt Magdeburg und gründete die danach genannte Dynastie Meidburg-Hardegg. So, the widow of one of these guys remarried. Yeah. Konrad and Otto died, and Otto's widow, Wilbirges, she remarried, and that husband died too, so she remarried again, and so on. And then she married into a very powerful dynasty from Magdeburg, which is in Eastern Germany, I believe. And then they found the dynasty of Magdeburg, Hardegg. Up here. Okay, got it. Sein Sohn Michael verpfändete 1472 Hardegg an die Grafen Johann und Sigmund von St. Georgen und übergab 1481 seinen ganzen Besitz gegen eine jährliche Leibrente an Kaiser Friedrich III. Kaiser Maximilian I. löste die Pfandschaft ein und verkaufte Hardegg 1495 an die Brüder Heinrich und Sigmund von Prüschenk. Sie hielten sich jedoch kaum in der Burg auf und ließen die Herrschaft von Pflegern verwalten. Erst die dritte Generation mit Graf Sigmund 1539 bis 1599 bewohnte wieder Hardegg. Julius III. Verkaufte nach 1635 die schwer verschuldete Herrschaft an die Grafen von St. Julien. So, the owners went in deep debt and they had to sell Castle Hardegg. And the Kaisers were also involved. Yeah, like they pawned it off to the Kaiser. And a later Kaiser Maximilian, he sold Hardegg. And then they didn't live there, but they had caretakers for it. And only much later, in the 1500s, someone lived there again. Okay, so this is all very mysterious. Apparently. And you have two more places to check. Okay, one more. Graf Johann Julius von St. Julien verkaufte 1730 die Herrschaften Hardegg an Sigmund Friedrich Graf Khevenhüller. Bei dieser Familie blieb die Burg bis zum Aussterben der niederösterreichischen Linie mit Anton Sigismund Fürst Khevenhüller-Metsch. Im Jahr 1945, nach dem Zweiten Weltkrieg, kam es durch die russische Besatzungsmacht zu schweren Schäden. 1956 wurde die Burg neuerlich restauriert und der Öffentlichkeit zugänglich gemacht. Über die Tochter Anton Sigismunds kam Hardegg durch Erbschaft an seine Enkelin Marianne Pilati von Tassui zu Daxberg. Deren Sohn ist der gegenwärtige Eigentümer von Hardegg und Riegersburg. This looks very pale, it's difficult to read. So it was sold in 1730 once again to Friedrich Graf Khevenhüller, and they kept it until they died out. in the year 1945. And in the vein of the Second World War, the Red Army caused damage to the castle and it had to be restored in 1956. And since then it's publicly, you can visit it publicly again. And nowadays the son of Marianne Pilati Fontasui is the current owner. Okay, like, I wonder, is that even a thing anymore? That a singular person owns a castle? Because the upkeep is so expensive, I imagine. Especially in Austria, where you have cold winters. Okay, Burgruine Pottendorf. Ah! That's her. And this is where we were. That's the moat. That's the castle ruins we've seen. With the tower. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we've been here. There were the duckies and the swans. Yeah. This is good. Okay. And this is the girl we saw.
The castle belongs to the town now. They made a public park out of it. But for centuries, descendants of the Ritter lineage lived there. Old blood, highly respected. They also had a estate in Bayern, where the last members of the family still reside.
Okay.
The Austrian part of the family seems to be extinct. Or at least there are no records to be found about them. The last known one was Mary Ritter. That... How is that? That's the woman from my dreams.
Dreams, yeah.
Right. I remember. A call for her. For Mary. I have no idea what's going on here. But I will find out. Maybe I'll be able to sleep in peace again.
Hopefully.
Wait. It says she was buried at Zentralfriedhof. I know that place. Let's pay the lady a visit myself for a change.
Okay. Let's pay her a visit. Harry, you're a visit. I want to check this out too. Ah, these you can't click on, okay. I thought I was reading all of that for nothing. But he just reads her stuff. Okay, but then that's our lead. We can't contact them, sadly. So we have read a die bulletin, which means we can get out of here. Let's see. So now we have a new location. The Zentralfriedhof, the graveyard. Okay. So we will visit a graveyard. So we had the coffee, we didn't eat anything yet. Put on shoes, very important. So your feet are always protected from the environment. Yeah, he's very snazzy, I must say. I dig his style. Okay. Let's go through the Zentralfriedhof. I wonder how many takes of this they took, like they had to take.
Flowers and candles. Everything the heart of a cemetery visitor can ask for. There is just the gatekeeper's house.
Oh, gatekeeping.
Motorcycles are not allowed? I'm shocked.
So this is like Reddit.
Are the ones here near the entrance cheaper ones?
Are they?
Are the ones near the entrance cheaper?
Who knows? I don't know. Where to go, Markus? Let's go left.
I love how nature is part of this place.
Graveyards can be quite beautiful. That's true. Okay, this just leads back, so this is the way forward. No, wait. This is where we're coming from? Okay, we just go in circles. Alright. We do, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go right.
Fresh flowers. Those graves seem to be newer ones. I have to get to the older areas. Fresh flowers. Those graves seem to be newer ones. I have to get to the older areas.
Yeah, you can see by the smooth marble that these are very recent gravestones.
God damn it, I'm lost
Like you
again.
can really tell the age of a gravestone in Europe. The ones that are 200 years old, you will recognize those. You can barely make out what's written on them.
The graves have more space in between them here. Seems to get a little more luxurious from here on.
Luxurious.
The graves have more space in between them here.
I so don't care what they slap on top of my body when I bite the dust one day.
Overgrown.
Luxury.
A useful
Great.
place to dispose of old flowers and candles. I hope they remove this soon, before it comes down on top of the poor folks under it.
Like, why can't you be humble in death? It's the perfect time to be humble because you don't experience anything anymore. So I want to interact with this. How do I interact with that? Do I take a photo of it? No. I walk up to it.
Interesting that they still plant new trees. They seem a little bit like guards.
Yeah, well, the old trees die eventually, so you have to reforestate the place.
Thanks, but I'm not thirsty.
Not thirsty. Yeesh, not thirsty. So how do I interact with this glowy hint we have here? Wait, this is where we're coming from, right? Yeah.
No, still not the right one.
These look old.
No, still not the right one.
No.
Wait, didn't I just pass here before?
Yes, you did.
God damn it, I'm lost again.
We're going in circles. Okay, now we're not going in circles.
God damn it, I'm lost again. I hope they remove this soon, before it comes down on top of the poor folks under it. Abandoned. Old graves, but not the one I'm looking for.
So we are looking for Markus Ritter, right?
Old graves, but not the one I'm looking for. Either every path here looks the same, or I'm going circles.
No, I think we're going in circles. Oh, these look old.
Another composite pile. They really like to keep it clean here. This cemetery is like a maze.
Come on. Come on, we can do it. So if I go here, I will end up back where we started again. Can't click on any of these gravestones.
This cemetery is like a
So,
maze.
Marie Ritter was of noble descendant, right? So maybe she would have her own crypt and not just a gravestone.
No, still not the right one. No, still not the right one.
But these are the left ones and these are the right ones, so... Come on, Markus.
Wait. Didn't I? I love how nature is part of this place.
Still going in circles.
God damn it, I'm lost again.
Okay, so we have to go back down this path. So what about this? What about this indeed? I only have my camera with me. Find grave, yeah. Exactly, find grave. That's all we have to do. That's all we have to do. Just find the grave and we're good. But where is it?
We are getting closer.
Yeah, we're getting closer, okay. If I go here though... Oh, okay.
They remind me of terrace houses. All the same design.
But we have passed through here, right? So maybe I have to go back. No. Ah, okay.
Not the right group.
Not the right group.
If my research is right, this should be the right group. The grave has to be nearby.
So it's on the right side here. Ah. Familie Overtoff. I can't make out what this says. Familie Josef Dombacher. Ruhestätte der Familie Kaufmann. Blümel. Ah, these are not the right ones.
No. Beautiful. This could be it. If there wasn't the wrong name engraved. Sadly not.
Nope. So these are not the right ones. Kitzberger, Wichtel, Bley, Schiger, Kessler.
Kitzberger, Wichtel, Bley, Sieger, Kessler und Barth. No Ritter.
No Ritter. What's going on? Next screen. Okay, there are more graves here. Kröllinger. Sahner. Silt.
Not the right name on the fine print either. Not the right name. Not the right name.
Familie Michel. Strudel Kirchenbaum. Like, there are very pompous gravestones in northern Germany too, but they are rare. Most of them are rather humble. But yeah, okay, this is a Catholic region, so...
No. No. And no.
Right. So I assume that the Lutheranians are just more humble in that regard than the Catholics. Like, they don't really have these extremely expensive and pompous gravestones. Jabo, Staffan Hanika, Chini. Is there really Chini?
Cute name. Beautiful grave. Keeping up the search.
Oh. Yeah, reminds me of Ginny. Sad that she's not around. She was here for the last awful movie game Monday. Okay. That's it, I guess. Ah. Ritter. Rudolf Ritter. Benutzungsrecht abgelaufen. Dieses Grab steht vor der Auflassung von und Abtragung. So it will be destroyed because no one's paying for it anymore. Yeah, makes sense.
This is the grave of the Ritter family. Mary must be buried here too. I should show some respect. Maybe I can light some candles?
Ah, we didn't take our lighter. Okay, we found our ancestors.
This is the grave of the Ritter family.
Okay, and what now? Buy candles. Really?
Familie Kotzial.
Kotzial.
Names. So many names.
Well, there are a lot of dead people on this
Either
planet.
every path here looks the same, or I'm going circles.
Do I get candles here, maybe? Is there a place to buy candles here? I have no clue. Let's go back to the entrance.
A pair of red candles. Perfect.
We just steal them? Ah, no. This is stuff you buy and then... Yeah, right. You buy it from here, put some money in a little box, and then you can put it on the graves. Okay. I thought we just stole them. Oh, no. Candles. There we go. So now we have to find the grave again.
God damn it.
What? Wait. This was the right path before, wasn't it? Or was it... Oh, no. It was here.
We are getting closer.
Getting closer. And then this way. Right. Now I should be careful to not go too far. It's not here yet. Here it is. Okay. Take out the candles. No?
This is the grave of the Ritter family.
Yeah, okay. So, in here. I'm supposed to put the candles in here, I assume. Yes. There we go. Progress. Finally. And another one. Now this is what I call wasted gameplay. I have to do it twice. Nope. There was a jump cut.
Markus, remember where we've come from.
Where am I? What happened? Mary?
Eerie.
But... Mary...
She can't see or hear you.
Can you hear me?
No, she can't.
No. No! Harry! Mary.
Love was so close,
verehrtester Gunther. It is with a heavy heart, but one that is filled with hope, that I write to you. I pray this amulet will be safe, protected in your care. I fear, perhaps, I write to you for the last time. Just a few small hours separate me from what might prove my final fight. This will be the hardest thing I've ever done. Perhaps, though, the most important. This time, my beloved husband stands not at my side or behind me. No, he stands now an opponent, taken by the darkness. The shadows have him now. It brings me great grief, Gunther, to tell you that my husband has fallen. He's been taken, possessed by a demon, and I, for all my efforts, have failed to save him.
No.
Perhaps
The dagger.
I should say
One
I
of
have
the
failed to
victims
save him
was
this far.
with the
The
dagger.
truth is, I'm not hopeful. Tomorrow, I venture to him, to try to call him back to the light and purge what foulness has taken him.
Where you were with, not knowing how to get out. How come you
I cannot say with certainty that I will prevail. You will understand, dear Gunther, that I must face this alone. But know that for all our loneliness, our kind never truly has been alone. Our war, the war which our family has fought since time immemorial, continues on with you. Defend this amulet and all of its power from those whose wickedness might twist it toward evil. I entrust this to you, this amulet and our family's legacy. Protect it with the might of our noble family name. Know that all of the Ritter line stands with you. Make our family proud, Gunther. Carry our burden with your head held high, as we all have done. For we are the only ones who can. With love, Marie Ritter.
love was so close,
Markus Ritter.
couldn't see. You were the one who chose to fall. You chose to run away. Love was so close. Time would have passed, you might have seen. Would you do it again? I believe you would not.
Fuck! I go insane. Markus Ritter. The letter was addressed to Markus Ritter. It's still at home.
Okay. There's more to do here. Don't have any more items to rub against it, so yeah, that cutscene was something. Yeah.
Either every
Wait.
God damn.
I really just don't even have to do this. We can just go like this and I assume go home. Let's check our notebook next and see what's on the to-do list. I like that they went so heavy on the FMV stuff, but I kind of wish there was more puzzling like in Gabriel Knight 2. That's sort of missing, but I guess they had to make sacrifices. Because when you have no budget, you also have no time. And then they would have had to think of all the puzzles, and they pretty much just made a little maze for you to navigate through and find an item that you have to use and complete the maze. It's been like that the entire time now, and we've been at this for 2 hours, so Okay, this is the same website about old places. Yeah, what do we do now? Oh yeah, right, our mail. Let's check the mail.
Markus Ritter. No name on there, obviously.
I love that they show how he's opening the envelope. it's so redundant, but
My
so
sincere
so
apologies
cute.
for learning about this by letter, instead of from me personally. But you are a descendant of the Ritter family, and you have a big task in front of you. With this letter, you will find the key to my last refuge. I cannot be with you, and I cannot tell you more. Take the key and go to this address. You should learn the truth there, but hurry up. We don't have much time left.
You didn't notice the key when you touched the envelope. Like
Okay.
you would feel the weight.
I will do it.
That would have made you curious. Like if I got an envelope that's heavy because there's a piece of metal in it. I could feel the piece of metal through the envelope. I would be curious. I would open it and think, why is someone sending me
I don't need to be. Thanks.
sending me a key? This is odd. Let's check it out. So, what do we do next? Investigate the house. This house.
Brand new. On the inside and on the outside. Tea. For guests. Not for me though. I need my coffee every single day. Got this from a friend. Theoretically for potatoes. But it also...
Maybe I can go to the living room now?
The living room.
No.
A lighter. Even though...
Oh, he doesn't smoke. Why does he have these though then? Maybe he likes to light candles every now and then. Because who doesn't?
I can remember... Poor one.
Do you
I'm
go to
not
sleep?
tired.
Not tired, okay. So where do we go? What do we do? We don't want to know what's in here, right?
You don't want to know what's in there.
We don't want to know what's in there. Okay. Maybe we have to find a hint on one of these websites. Maybe not.
The castle belongs to the town now. They made a...
Okay. He crossed something out. No. Maybe they mean another house. Let's check. Ah! There's a cross here. At Deutsch-Wagram. Or what's that? Rasdorf. Rasdorf. Okay.
As if this isn't scary enough already. Now there are gnomes too? Creepy.
Gnomes.
Looks like no one took care of this for quite some time. This has to be it.
Okay, this is glowing.
Perfect to cart away some corpses. Or leaves. Probably just leaves.
Let's not get too morbid here, Markus.
This looks like someone lived here not a long time ago.
Oh, it's abandoned? Really? Doesn't look like it's abandoned. Some horse harnesses.
Just junk.
Ah, Verlängerungsschnur, Dreifachstecker. Plenty of those.
I don't have the key.
Ah, well, maybe we do.
I don't have the key.
Okay, we have a key, but not the key.
Getting hungry.
Yeah, looks very appetizing.
You could build a decent bench with these. At least that's what I read in a magazine once. Everything you need to hide a body. Hello, new partition wall.
What's going on with your mind, Markus?
Everything you need to hide a body.
What? This is out in the countryside. Well, it's not uncommon that they have construction material.
The sky is getting dark.
Lots of old buildings that need maintenance, you know?
How long has this house been abandoned? This tree looks like it was planted recently.
Sure looks like it. That pole is not too withered as well, so...
Wood. Useful if I want to start a fire.
Okay, we chip some wood. Neat. Nice sound effect as well. I think they not ever used the original sound of the scene. They redubbed everything, as it seems. Whenever there's dialogue, the lip sync is just not there, not at all. And the SFX also sound like they reenacted them in a studio.
A hammer.
Or maybe in their office.
Nothing of interest in here. Nothing of interest in here.
There's a letter. Yeah, no. Let's go up these stairs. Let's not pause.
Damn it. This would have been too easy. I bet the key is hidden here somewhere. For sure.
Wouldn't be too sure about that. Find the key. Okay, that's our new objective. It's surely not up here in the attic.
You can see the entrance from here.
Ah yeah, this is perfect for banging your head onto. Happened to me so many times. I just love narrow European attics. It's great. Can I skip this? No, I can just pause it. So that's downstairs. No, we can
No
examine
wrong
this.
step.
Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go down then. So where did we not inspect yet?
Nice colors.
Really? I think they look sinister. I don't know. I don't know. Markus?
I should try the key here that came with the letter.
Oh yeah, the front door. We didn't try that, did we? Okay. So we need to find another key. We lost the one we just used. That's great. Good game design. Good game design choice.
More alcohol. They sure knew their priorities.
Philadelphia, das Kochbuch. Those are all the recipes you can cook with Philadelphia cream cheese.
No, not even a short sight.
What else do we have here? Cocktails aus aller Welt. Cocktails from around the world. Quick chicken. Pizza and pasta. And the rest I can't make out what they say. Maybe this one. Sandwiches, panini and co. So these people liked their cuisine simple. Very likable. This really? They went with this picture? Look how it's not focused at all. Like they were jiggling the camera. It's so neat. It's so cute.
A delicacy in many colors.
Sure is.
Who just gets up and leaves a house without unplugging the electronical devices?
Yeah, maybe you should do that if you leave for a longer period of time, like forever.
Kind of small, but as long as it does the dishes, I guess.
Well, if you live here alone, this is sufficient. Sure. I really like his
Just a
earring
pot?
too. It's neat.
But there seems to be something frozen into the ice.
Oh, maybe a key. Okay, microwave.
Not the newest model, but at least something I can handle.
Microwave. Ah, no microwave. Metal object. Heavy metal
Nothing
object.
inside of importance.
No microwave.
Nothing
Ah,
inside of importance.
Not a good idea. Maybe the oven? Can't interact with... Ah, stove. Put the pot on the stove. Melt the ice.
Nothing.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem to
Oh.
work. Must be broken.
Now you gotta check the fuse box, Markus. But then he tells me, oh, I never touched the fuse box at home, so I don't know how to operate it. Oh, there's an old... Oh, is this a gas stove? Maybe this works. Maybe they kept their old gas stove for some reason.
I need wood.
Oh, it's a wooden... Like, not a wooden stove, but you fire it with wood. That's neat. Yeah, we had one of those when I was little, but in beautiful. Like, this thing looks ugly. The one we had was an antiquity. I really liked it. We cooked cocoa on it.
A key. Ouch! Hot.
Wouldn't the ice cool the metal down, though? Still? So now we have to wait for it to melt?
The ice is completely molten. Now I can... Ouch! Dumbass.
Oh, Markus. You clumsy little bugger. Maybe we should clean the pot and put it back.
This is gross. Even for me.
This is gross at any standard. And this is IKEA. I recognize it. This is so IKEA.
Thanks. But I wouldn't even want to do that at home. Definitely not here. This seems to be the heater.
Yeah, could be.
This one stopped too.
Let's get out of here.
Looks like something Frau Schmidt would like.
So we found the key. Let's look around here nonetheless. Even though we already found
Can't
the key.
be more empty. If this were a computer game, I would search through all of those.
Fourth wall broken. Uh-oh.
Nice. But nothing more. No. Empty. Not my style. Looks like my plate when I've used too much ketchup.
What kind of ketchup do you use, Markus? Very cozy. It's so awkward. I love it. Oh, they have a record spinner and a stereo, and also with a cassette deck, no less. Oh. So the people who lived here last bought any equipment in the mid-90s. This one to listen to their old records, and this one to listen to their new fancy CDs and cassette tapes they recorded themselves, maybe? That's what we did. We would record ourselves on cassette tapes and record our radio songs from the radio and stuff.
Interesting model. But as long as it works.
And then listen to it on cassette.
I couldn't sleep right now, even if I tried.
Dark times, I tell you, dark times. It wasn't pleasant.
Is this expensive?
Luckily, Gen Z has to go through none of those inconveniences.
Not my taste.
None of them?
Nice collection of liquor, but a little bit moldy. Always use your coaster, so your furniture won't be damaged. At least that's what my grandmother used to say.
Ah, those are Küchensets. Okay. Yeah, you put this underneath your plate and your drink, so the table won't get dirty and won't get permanent stains from your drink. Okay, let's get out of here, I think. Anything else? No, this is living room, kitchen, exit. Yeah. So we've checked pretty much everything. Let's go back upstairs and see if that key we just got opens that chest. Now maybe we get sword and armor? That would be cool. And then we can slay ghost demons or something. Maybe then this game turns into Dark Souls. That could be neat.
It fits. Okay, Markus. You're ready. You can do this.
And it is. Da, 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 da. A book.
Is that a diary? This book between your hands. That must mean I'm dead.
forgive me that I tried to shield you from the truth about our family. Your family. Markus, you're a direct descendant of the Ritter lineage. It is our duty to protect the world from the shadows, and even though I try to prevent it, you have to follow your calling. It is my fault that you received no education, no tools to face this challenge. But in this book I collect every piece of knowledge I can give you. I know it's hard, but you can't escape your destiny. With this book you will find an amulet. It is our only protection. As long as you wear it, the shadows can't harm you. Read, learn, be careful. There's nothing else I can do for you. Forgive me.
It's very Gabriel Knight.
Shit.
That not so much. Thank you for playing. I hope that was only the first chapter of the game. Is it over already? No. Ah ja, Michael Kotzmann as Markus Ritter. Relax with some... So the game is not over, okay. I assume that was just the first chapter then. And now we entered the second chapter because now we know we have some purpose. So it starts me in the kitchen here. I'm supposed to relax with some fine wine. This looks like champagne. But there seems to be wine too.
Not bad.
Yeah, let's relax some, Markus. Did you put it in your inventory? Ah, I know where to relax. The rainbow armchair, of course. And why not spin a record while you're at it? Oh, you already drank a lot of it. He's looking right
So,
at the camera.
Markus is a descendant of the Ritter family. What family secrets will we discover in the next game, and will Markus fulfill his role as a Shadow Hunter? Thank you so much for the Kickstarter campaign.
That was the
Hopefully
whole
see you
game,
soon.
really?
Looking forward to it.
You serious? So now I have to buy the second game to know how it's going. Okay. Okay. I'm a bit disappointed, I must say. I thought that this would go on for much longer. Isaku cosplay. There's a demo out. Yeah, but I want the full experience. I want to delve into the world of Markus Ritter. I really like the characters, or he's the only really established character in the game. And we don't know anything about Marie yet. But damn, what a bummer. Yeah, so when I can pick it up on sale at some point, I will come back to it. But why is this so short? I mean, yeah, it's for free, so I can't complain. I got it for free. I didn't back it on Kickstarter because I just learned about it a few days ago. That means next awful movie game Monday, I might have to play Gabriel Knight 2 to scratch that itch. Dang. What a bummerino. So what do we do now? It's 10 p.m. I could stop streaming, or I could stream something else. Well, you know what? I thought about streaming Crusader Kings 3 tonight. Gabriel Knight 2, The Beast Within, is the best FMV game ever made, in my opinion. I've played that as a kid. I've played it as a kid, and I have seen lots of reviews for all the FMV games out there. Like, I've watched all the reviews by Noah Antweiler, and I've watched, well, a bunch of FMV game reviews on YouTube. I don't know what other FMVs I would have played as a kid. I don't think too many, because it never caught on too much in Germany. But Gabriel Knight 2 is just pure love. I just love it. It's got the perfect amount of corny, campy, and funny bad. The actors are all giving it their all, but it's just not really. Yeah, Phantasmagoria I've played through on this channel actually, but I intend to play it again. Yeah, Phantasmagoria 1. The second one was decent as well, but Phantasmagoria 1, Gabriel Knight 2, in my opinion also, best FMV games. Maybe also because I love the horror genre, and they're just so good. Just so good. But this, yeah, and this emits a similar feeling. Like, it has the same campiness and the same corniness, and the acting is not quite there, but the actors give it some effort. You can feel that, like, they are committed to their roles. I don't know about the fourth wall breaking in this one. It's not too bad, but it feels kind of misplaced. But I really like the actor for Markus here, and I can't talk much about Marie here. She has not appeared too much. We didn't get to know a lot of about her character. But yeah, short skirts are in the game too. I don't know why. They went with a certain aesthetic for the female characters in the game. Like, they all seem to be rather busty and wear short skirts. Maybe they thought that would be a good selling point. I have no clue. But that's in here as well, yeah. Overall, yeah, great game. Very entertaining. So, yeah, I'm eager to find out more about the successor of this, but not likely in the near future. But we'll have Gabriel Knight 2 in the near future. I'm pretty sure of that, because I intend to play through it. I never beat it as a kid, haven't played it as an adult yet, so I guess we have to do it. Yeah. So I think I might fire up Everdream Valley for a bit, maybe for an hour or something. But what would be fitting is Crusader Kings 3, but for that I'd like to take my time. Like, I don't want to play that for just an hour. That's really not feasible. So I think I'll be back in a few minutes. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Those who were chatting, thank you as well. And if you have not left a follow yet, please consider doing so. It helps me out a lot. I want to build a small community with a grand color of people. If you're not inclined to do so, it's fine as well, obviously. So, see you soon, very soon, hopefully, and bye-bye. And the game won't let me. Bye-bye. What a dramatic